Perfectionism, overthinking, lack of clarity, doubt, anxiety, all of these manifesting inside yourself in your business are not just random experiences or challenges showing up for you. What they are shadows, and more specifically shadows of your not self story that are deeply rooted inside undefined and open centers in your human design. And the conditioning from the online coaching space to push beyond your limits for goals and visions that aren't actually yours are the things that are sabotaging your journey to a six-figure, sustainable, and thriving online coaching business. We're gonna dismantle these obstacles and help you uncover and align to your natural radiance and energy inside your business using human design and astrology, and have the clear foundational building blocks to create a sustainable and fulfilling online business in 2025. If you're curious on what human design is and you're still new to human design, I want you to watch this video that goes a little bit more in depth on the basics of human design. But when we're looking at our body graph chart, we're looking at a map of how we mechanically operate. The centers that you see in the body graph are derived from the chakra system, so they may look familiar to you. The centers are energy hubs that govern specific parts of our expression. And our centers can be undefined, defined, as well as open. When our centers are defined, they have a more consistent energy output. That's a fixed approach to expressing the energy, versus when they're undefined and open, that has more of a flexible approach to the expression. And it's not going to express the same way all the time, nor is it going to have a consistent energetic expression. It's supposed to be flexible in its approach. But with that openness and with that lack of definition in a center, you can be more susceptible to the energy outside of you. So open and undefined centers take in energy and amplify it. And when we're not conscious of the energy that we're taking in, we can take in an energy that isn't supportive to us and amplify it and call that our reality. So the openness in our undefined and open centers is a really fertile ground for conditioning and taking on external beliefs and patterns that aren't truly yours, but you've taken it on to fit some sort of societal expectation or pressure, which is totally normal. All of us do this. So coming to this awareness is a first step, and there's no shame in your game. Knowing how you operate and what you're susceptible to so you can reclaim your power and get back into the path of alignment for you and be the most magnetic version of yourself to create momentum in your life and your business. This helps eliminate that friction when you understand what is happening in your energy centers. When you become aware of these conditioned patterns and start to shift into aligning what is true for you, what feels the most natural for your energetic expression, your defined centers are able to become the immense amounts of wisdom and potential that they were created to be. So instead of being places of vulnerability, become a gateway of wisdom and adaptability and unique perspective. And when you embrace the expansiveness there, you're able to foster your own innate creativity and empathy and flexibility in the approach to your business practices, and be unapologetic in who you are and how you're made to be. And you stand out in the sea of sameness, leveraging your uniqueness, leveraging your power, leveraging what is natural and authentic in your expression, versus needing to see it in a space and looking to replicate it. You get to stand out as that unique, singular signature and be the leader. So I want to go through the top of the body graph down and explore some of the not self thoughts and shadow expressions that's going to come from that you might recognize and be like, ooh, I thought of that. Ooh, that's been a thought of mine. Oh, that's where that comes from. And it's great because we just want to build awareness so that we can break through to the other side and really honor how we naturally operate. And that helps heal the burnout. Because when we are fatigued, resentful, and burnt out and disconnected and dysregulated in our business, it comes from sometimes not even doing anything quote unquote wrong. It's just doing something that isn't correct for us. And it can be seemingly the most smart approach to business, but it's not smart for your energy. And therefore, it's creating an energetic leak and draining you and putting you on that vicious cycle of burnout, resentment, wanting to burn out your business. All right, let's restart again. We want to get off that train. Now take a look at your body graph chart. And if you don't have a human design chart, you can go to renewliving.com/free chart to download your free human design chart. You're going to pull it up and you're going to take a look at it and you're going to see this graph. And I want you to note, what are your undefined centers or open centers? And those are the spaces that aren't going to have a color. They're most likely going to be white. Take note of that. So starting at the head center, if you have an undefined and open head center, think about this. Now, we have conditioning in our centers when they're defined, but that is a different conversation, that is not for today. Today, we're just looking at our undefined and open centers. Head centers, undefined and open head centers. A thought that you might have is, I need to have all the answers before taking action. You might find that you're sitting there waiting in analysis paralysis, trying to make sure that you have the answer before you show up. And that thought can take root, a belief and embodiment inside yourself that says, if I can't think through every possible scenario, I'll fail. So the thought of needing to have all the answers solved before we take action creates this belief that if I can't think through every scenario, I'm probably going to fail, which creates an embodiment and an action that you take place from. And that action looks like spending excessive amount of time researching and planning and ideating, delaying the launch of your new product or your new program, or selling your one-on-one spots because you simply never quite feel ready and you're just waiting for a little bit more certainty and to answer all the questions, because only then can you take action. Because if you're not clear, if you're not sure, obviously you're going to fail. Sound familiar, anybody? Truth is, when we allow that spaciousness, allow that openness, and allow that flexibility in our undefined head centers and our open head centers, you actually tap into the collective wisdom. That's a part of the fabric that we're tapped into, you and I both. And then you're able to see diverse perspectives. The focus that you want to shift into is really embracing curiosity, embracing adaptability, embracing the unknown, and making the most informed decisions with your strategy and authority without being paralyzed by the need for certainty. Instead of leaning towards certainty, lean back. And how can you take action from a place of wonder, curiosity, and experimentation? Moving to the Ajna Center, note if you have that open or undefined. A not-self thought that can be born here is the thought that my ideas aren't good enough. And when that thought comes through, it then takes roots, a belief and an embodiment of, well, I must constantly analyze and refine my strategies in order to avoid mistakes. Because my ideas aren't good enough, then I need to overthink and overanalyze in order to make sure that there are no mistakes, right? Because perfection is key here. And the action that's created from this belief is you end up overthinking your business strategies, your marketing plans, and that's leading to analysis paralysis in and of itself as well. And instead of moving forward, you're stuck tweaking, second guessing, and making last minute changes, sometimes even scratching it and starting over. And the truth is, all your ideas are powerful downloads, and it's really only about understanding which download to take action on is based on your strategy and authority. So you want to get comfortable with your strategy and authority and trust that the downloads that are coming through, the ideas, are all powerful. It's just a matter of which one to honor is based on your strategy and authority. And this is how you move into action without overcomplicating things and needing to second guess yourself. Undefined and open G centers, the not so thought that can come from this space is, I need to present the perfect image in order to attract clients. And that thought can take root, a belief that my identity is tied to my business success. So I must appear flawless, right? Because being perfect is really the only way that I can get clients. And of course, my whole identity is based on the success of my business. And so in order for my business to be successful, I have to appear perfect, flawless image. And that creates an action and embodiment where you feel so compelled to maintain this perfect, flawless, illusionary image, which creates a pressure to lead from an inauthentic place online, an authentic place in your marketing. And then that creates a disconnection between who you are and how you present yourself to your audience. And then that pursuit of this perfect image doesn't actually give you the attraction of clients that are aligned for you. It might attract certain clients, but not ones that are meant for you. And that creates even more friction and dysregulation in your business because you are attracting from a place that you are not. And therefore that is not sustainable for you. Can anybody relate to that? I know I can, especially as Leo rising. The lips are dry, gotta take a moment. And she's getting over a cold, so we need a cough drop. An undefined G Center in alignment, it's really embracing all the different identities and all the different parts of yourself that you have, the flexibility there. And you show us the beauty in not just being one thing. A genuine connection to yourself attracts clients who resonate with the real you, the ever-changing you, the abundant expression that is you. That fosters deeper and more meaningful relationships with your clients. Moving on to Undefined and Open Splenic Center. The thought that can happen here is I'm constantly on high alert, I'm constantly conscious, I'm constantly aware so I can prevent something bad from happening. That creates an embodiment from the belief that if I don't act quickly, I'll miss an opportunity. Like I have to be ready to take every opportunity. It creates this hyperactive response and embodiment. Like even me just saying that, you can see the embodiment. So a thought creates a belief that gets rooted into you that creates an embodiment. And that's how your energy is. And you emulate that embodiment. And then from that embodiment, you take action from that place. It creates an action of operating in a perpetual state of stress and then making hasty decisions based on fear that's trying to prevent something bad happening in your business, rather than grounding yourself in your body and making decisions from an intuitive place, leaning into your strategy and authority, making decisions from a grounded space. The potential you have with an undefined and open splenic center is actually having a deep intuitive connection. The goal that you want to focus on to come back into alignment is utilizing grounding and calming rituals to bring you back into your body and create a sense of safety so that you can lean into your intuition, listen and hear your intuitive instinct without the hypervigilance. Moving on to the Undefined Root and Open Root Center. A thought that can come from the not self here is, I need to work harder and I need to do more to stay ahead. Anybody ever heard that one? I know I have. Speaking from an undefined root. And that thought can create a belief that if I'm not constantly hustling, if I'm not trying to push through, then I'm falling behind. And I know this embodiment all too well. It's a practice with your undefined spaces. And acting from that space and that belief can create the actions of overcommitting to launches, overcommitting to deadlines, overcommitting to your clients, which creates that perpetual cycle of burnout within yourself. Or that looks like continual work without any rest or any space for reflection. It leads to that vicious cycle, feeling drained and resentful and therefore ineffective and losing momentum and then having to crash and then needing to start over again. And that is a dangerous cycle that comes from the root center. So the opportunity here is understanding the difference between an external and an internal pressure and knowing the difference in which one you are listening to, which one is driving the adrenaline to move you into action, because sometimes it's nothing outside of you that's driving you, it's completely internalized pressure. Noticing that, disconnecting, and creating and setting realistic boundaries with yourself. And those boundaries can look like implementing rest checkpoints, reflection checkpoints for yourself, and just prioritize the tasks that align with your natural energy. And when you get to a place where you feel like you're shifting into a mode that you have to push to continue, that is your sign that you're done for the moment. You are done for the day. And a rest needs to be added in there, or a space for reflection, a space for disconnection so that you can get back into your body and get grounded back into your body. That's a practice there for really feeling into the potential wisdom in your root center. Moving on to the undefined and open solar plexus. A not self-thought that can come from here is, I can't make decisions because I'm overwhelmed with emotions right now. I'm like overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed by X emotion. I'm overwhelmed by anxiety. I just can't. I'm maxed. I don't have the capacity. I just can't. And that thought creates that belief that I need to respond to other people immediately and respond to their emotions, or I'll disappoint them. And that belief manifests into an embodiment where you start acting from the space where you're reacting from other people's emotions, or you're reacting from preempting what you think other people's emotions will be. And that hyperactivity will leave you drained, will leave you fatigued, and disconnected from what you truly want to do. Instead, you're doing what you think others want from you, or you're doing things to avoid a reaction from something outside of yourself. Big thing that happens with undefined and open emotional centers is you take on and amplify other people's emotions so easily. The wisdom here is that you are in tune with the space. It's important to have a disconnection practice and a ritual that helps you bring you back into the stillness of your body and honor what you are sensing from other. And because you are sensing it, you're empathetic, you are able to lead with conversations or set up processes that help support people's feelings in their containers with you or in any of the work that you do, but it allows you to just create some boundaries, detach from taking on that emotion and detach from reacting to what you are sensing and what you're experiencing from other, and allows you to really move from a space of clarity to create the most supportive space. For the undefined and open heart center, a sabotaging not self-thought that can happen here can sound like, I'm not enough and I need to prove my worth in order for my business to succeed. And that becomes a belief that sounds like, if I don't constantly push to achieve and get that next goal, then I won't be worthy of success or recognition in the online coaching space as an online entrepreneur. And it creates a pattern of overworking, overcommitting, or accepting projects and responsibilities from clients that don't actually align with your strengths or with what you truly desire, what you truly want in your life and in your business. And you do it because you feel inadequate and you feel like you need to prove something to your peers in the online space, your partner, a part of yourself that isn't healed. And it breeds this feelings of inadequacy and really leads to burnout. And the reality is, the openness in the Undefined Heart Center, you're sensitive to external pressures around achievement and proving your worth. You're not here to do that. You have nothing to prove. And you're here to teach us how we have nothing to prove and we're inherently worthy. And you can have material success without needing to constantly subscribe to that energy. So rather than constantly trying to prove yourself and make sure you're recognized and seen for your material success, your focus is on that inner empowerment and working on remembering and trusting that you're worthy simply because, and helping us remember that our worth is not tied to what we do or what we have, but simply by our essence and being here and being on the planet. Finally, we have our undefined sacral and open sacral center. Now, the not self-thought that can come from here can sound like, I'm not sure what I truly want or what truly excites me. And that thought can create the belief that, you know what, I need to follow what others are doing because I'm unsure of my own desires. So I should do what they're doing and what's exciting them. And the actions you end up taking from the space is mimicking others' decisions and creativity and excitement and action without tuning into your own energy. And then you end up overdoing and doing more than you would like to, and end up working and building and creating these structures that you don't really have a connection to, and it leads to disconnection within yourself, your true purpose, and a lack of satisfaction, and you feel heavy. When the beautiful power that you have here, the potential here, is that you can connect to what it is that you want. You get to connect to what it is that's exciting to you. And you get to disconnect when you feel like, oh, that's enough. I've had enough of this. I'm not excited by this anymore. I don't want to continue building here. And honor that. You show us what is enough and how to not push through just because. Understanding these shadows and the not self and understanding your energetic blueprint is so important because it can really lead to some severe dysregulation and sickness in your body. 2024 was a big year that I've had to pull all the way back. My body had a lot of inflammation. It's still a process. I'm still working through clearing some of that out because I really let some of my undefined centers run the show in a sneaky way. This work, there's surface levels to it, and then there's layers deeper that you can really get caught up in. And for myself, I was constantly acting from my undefined heart center and my undefined root center. There was a lot of dysregulation happening there that created a lot of fatigue, sickness in my body. And then my body had to go into troubleshooting mode where as a 2-4, I had to spend more time hermiting. I had to kind of retreat in order to create safety for my body to heal. And all those things delay your potential, delay your power, delay your momentum. It's a part of your journey. So if this is exactly where you are right now, you're not wrong for being here. I wasn't wrong for being there. You're not behind. But we need to take the hint and the clues, and we need to re-regulate and find our center and our power and heal so that we can be of service the way that we need to be of service to the collective through our online businesses. The undefined centers really reveal where we feel like we're not enough. We end up feeling like we need to push in those spaces. And if there's any place that you're noticing that there's a pattern of pushing and forcing and trying to drive aggressively that doesn't feel sustainable, that is a sign that you are out of alignment. And there's actually a simpler way. In human design and looking at your energetics and looking at your astrology and looking at your natural makeup to inform how you move and how you naturally express and how you want to build the different parts of your business and the foundation of your business so that it can withstand growth, leaning into your energetics and this blueprint is the key. There's no strategy out there that someone says that it worked for them. There's no guarantee that it's going to work for you. And the reason why there's no guarantee is because it has to be rooted in your energy. We're a society that wants to hack time and make more time when the reality is what's going to make life easier is if you learn how to operate with your energy. Time wouldn't matter then. And that's what I want to help you. I want 2025 to be a really simple, effortless, expansive, and freeing year, simply by leaning in to your naturalness and your authentic expression. This is where true authenticity lies. It's leaning into your gifts and forgetting the rest. Operating from the not self doesn't create this temporary friction or temporary stress. It really does create an accumulation that leads to chronic burnout and exhaustion and a business that you need to run away from. And a beautiful, easy access way to understand how to put yourself in the seat of alignment and the pathway of least resistance is leaning into your energetics. There are too many entrepreneurs out there that we see that ghost the space and never come back or burn down their business because they built it from a dysregulated place to no fault of their own. It's the conditioning of our society. But we are smarter than that, and we're more intuitive than that. Take Vanessa Lau, for example. She has been talking on her channel all about how she's finding new ways to show up in the space because she had built a 7-figure, maybe even an 8-figure business out of alignment, simply based on external factors. And she was hustling like a generator. And she actually is a projector. And I 1,000% connect that to energetic alignment. And our higher self is calling us to move about our lives and our businesses differently. And human design and astrology is the exact blueprint to you. Now, stick around because I am creating a series for you that goes deeper into how to utilize the different parts of your human design in your business. Inside my program, Conscious Biz Creator, we focus on using your human design and astrology, that exact blueprint, to infuse into a 4-step framework that I call the 4 C's. It's captivate, cultivate, convert, and change. And it's a unique mechanism that provides a complete energetic align process for a thriving, sustainable, and scalable online coaching business. It's not just tactical advice. It's not just strategy. It's a deep, holistic transformation to your business by infusing and integrating your human design and astrology. Each step of the framework and foundation of your business is uniquely oriented to how you operate, what you need for support in your energy, and connected to what you truly want at the end of the day. Building with your vision first and the life that you're desiring to be stepping into versus where you are now. But I would love to hear in the comments, how many undefined centers or open centers do you have? I'll go first. I have all my centers undefined except for 2. I just have 2 defined centers, which is my Sacral and my G Center. I'd love to hear below, how many undefined centers do you have? We've looked at our shadows, we've seen the not self, the sabotaging thoughts and beliefs and actions that have perpetuated disconnection and burnout in our business. But if you want to identify exactly what's blocking your 6-figure coaching success, then I want you to click in the description box below or go to this link and take my quiz that helps you identify what is the current biz block in your business. It's a quick 10-question quiz that's going to generate an answer for you with a plan of action that you get to focus on for 2025. At the top of 2025, let's tackle that block to create momentum and satisfaction in your business. And at the end of the quiz, there'll be an opportunity that I created just for you for taking the quiz, where I'm offering a free strategy session where we can look at that block and create a roadmap on how you can get to the other side of breakthrough and have the most freeing, expansive 2025 yet. Go to renewyourliving.com/CBC quiz to uncover your business block. If you had an aha, an epiphany with this video, I want you to give it a thumbs up and make sure that you're subscribed and hit that bell to be notified when the next video in the series comes out. I don't want you to miss a beat. The next video of this series is all about building and crafting your magnetic offer using your human design. We're gonna dive deep into how misaligned offers can drain your energy and make your business feel heavy and therefore hinder your sales and business growth. But most importantly, I'm gonna teach you how to create a soul-aligned signature offer that is rooted in your zone of genius. And we're gonna uncover that looking at different placements in your human design and your astrology. So if you're excited for that, make sure you're subscribed because that video will go live here when it's ready.